This is the yoga set, which is described in the Acu-Polarity book on pages 115 through pages 124. It is suggested before you attempt practicing the yoga set that you read these pages very carefully, and then you can use the tape to practice with. I call this yoga set Kiss the Sky Yoga. We begin the set with deep breathing. Stand with your feet together. Bring your hands, palms together, and just bend your forehead forward and touch your forehead, the eye center, to the two thumbs that are together. And bring your two elbows together and touch each other so that your lungs begin by completely emptying. And now start breathing in through the nose. We're going to breathe in with a sa sound and exhale with a ha sound. As you start breathing in, your hands will drop down. They will stretch out and over the head, interlace the fingers, point the index finger up, push your heels together, go up on the tips of your toes, and then come back down and start exhaling. Release the fingers, stretch out, and then down and back up to the forehead, using your upper arms to completely squeeze the lungs and empty them. The lungs are in three parts: bottom, middle, top. When you fill up, drop your stomach down, fill up bottom, middle, top. And then as you exhale top, middle, and push the diaphragm up and use your upper arms to completely squeeze the lungs. Okay, ready, begin. Okay, I think that's about 10. If you wish, you can turn the tape off and do a second set. Of course, the best time to do your breathing exercises are in the morning when the air is fresh and clean, which is also the best time to do your yoga set. Always start your yoga set with at least 10 breaths or 20 breaths. Second posture is called Salutation to the Sun. Bring your hands, palms together, in the center of the chest. This is a 12-count movement. This position, Namaste, is number 1. And then breathe in, drop your hands down, and then out and up and back. Squeeze your hips and bend back. This is position 2. And then position 3, always when you forward bend, bend from the waist. So stretch your hands out. Don't bend from the middle of the back. Bend from the waist. Wiggle your hips a little bit and bring your hands alongside the toes so that the toe tips, if you have to bend your knees a little bit, it's okay. Toe tips, fingertips should all be in a line. Hands are alongside the feet, outside on both sides of the feet. And just hold in this and let your head hang and bring your chest down on top of your thighs and try to push your knees back and keep breathing and hold in this standing forward bend posture for about 10 seconds. All right, now breathe in and bring your right leg back so that you're kind of dropping down on your right leg is behind you, and look up, and both of your hands are alongside the left foot. And then bring your left foot back, and you're holding in a push-up position. Don't stick your buttocks in the air. Keep your back straight. Then exhale and go down 1/2 inch from the floor. If you can't hold yourself off the floor, then drop down on your knees, chest, and chin. All right, now roll back and push your chest out. Bring your head back and hold in this position. Keep breathing. This is called the dog stretches its front legs. So your arms are straight, your head is back. Your arms can be bent a little bit if you feel too much pressure on the low back. Okay, now the inverted V pose, or a dog stretches its hind legs. Now just push your buttocks in the air and make an inverted V. Try to touch the floor with your heels. If you want to walk your feet about shoulder width apart, you can. And try to touch your forehead to the floor and roll your elbows up and keep breathing and hold this position. Dog stretches its hind leg, or downward facing dog pose. All right, now we're working with the right leg, so bring your right leg forward. It should line up. The toe tips and the fingertips should be like they're on one line. And then bring your left leg forward. As you stand up, your hands are alongside the feet, and just stay in this position of standing forward bend for about 10 seconds. All right, breathe in and bend back, arms over the head, and exhale, and arms alongside the body. So that's the first set. Same thing, second set, salutation of sun, except this time we're going to be working with the left leg. So 1, hands in prayer position. 2, breathe in, bend back. 3, exhale, bend from the waist and place the hands alongside the feet, toe tips and fingertips lined up. Forward bending, chest on the thigh muscles. All right, now breathe in and bring the left leg back and look up. Bring the right leg back and hold yourself in a push-up position. Exhale and go down 1/2 inch from the floor. And inhale and bring your head back and push your chest up and hold that for 10 seconds. Stretch the front legs, the arms. Now make an inverted V. Walk your feet apart about shoulder width if you want to. Try to touch your forehead and your heels to the floor and roll your elbows up. All right, now bring your left foot forward so it lines up with the fingertips, and your right knee is touching the floor, and look up. Now bring your right leg forward, and you're in a forward bend, standing forward bend, and just hold in that position. Okay, breathe in, bend back. This is 11, and exhale, and arms to the side is 12. That's salutation of the sun. Now the next posture is called side bending. The salutation of the sun is backward and forward bending. Now we do side bending, or salutation of the moon. So interlace your fingers over your head and point the index finger and bring your chin back so that the top of your head do 20, the base of the perineum, which is Ren 1, and the point at the kidney 1 in the feet are all lined up. And just stretch up with your hands as high as you can, elongate your spine as much as you can, and then exhale and bend to the right. Keep your hands and feet all in one line and push your hips to the left, and don't let your chin come down on your chest. And keep breathing and stretching and hold that posture. All right, come up. Stretch up with the hands as much as you can, and then exhale to the left and push your hips to the right, and bring your left shoulder out a little bit. Line up the hips, shoulders, hands, and feet. Keep the chin off the chest, and keep breathing into your stomach. Keep your thigh muscles tight. All right, come up. And keep stretching up. Keep your fingers stretching up to the ceiling. Now drop your head back. Just let go of it. Drop your head back. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your hips to protect your low back. And slowly from the top of the spine to the bottom of the spine, just bend back. Push your chest back. Push your thighs forward and go back as far as you can. Look at the ceiling. Look at the wall. Look at the floor. Keep breathing if you can. All right, slowly come up. Now you're going to forward bend. Always in forward bending, bend from the waist. So bend from the waist with your back straight. Don't bend from the middle of the back, but bend from the waist. Wiggle your hips. Reach down and grip the heels so that the index finger and the thumb touch the floor. And then bring your arms behind the calf muscles and try to pull your chest down on the top of your thighs and your head toward your feet. And keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep the forearms behind the calf muscles. Use your index finger should be notched right behind the heel so that you're pulling and stretching down your head as much as you can and making your chest as flat as possible. Exhale the air, suck the stomach in, and then come up. Again, come up with a straight back. Means stretch your arms out in front of you as much as you can. Now your hands are up over your head. Now we're going to step out into a triangle pose. So step out exactly 4 feet, and at the same time split your arms so that they come parallel to the floor. Now turn on the heel of the right foot 90 degrees and roll your knee over your toe. Now the thigh of the right leg has to be exactly parallel to the floor. It can't be angled, otherwise you won't be able to lodge your elbow on your knee. So look at the thigh of the right leg and see that it's parallel to the floor. Now bring your right hand down and put it right on the floor and line your fingertips up with your toe tip so that the palm is flat on the floor, your elbow's right by your knee, and turn and put your chin on your shoulder as your left hand is stretching up as high as you can. And twist your right lower half of the body forward, push the pelvis forward, and the left side of the body stretch back. All right, come up with the arms only first. Make the arms parallel, then come up with the knee. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, roll your knee over your toe, go down, place your left hand flat on the floor, line up the fingertips and turn, stretch your right hand up to the ceiling and put your chin on your right shoulder and bring your left hip forward and the right hip back and keep breathing into your stomach. All right, come up with the left hand only. Come up with the arms only, Your arms are parallel. Now bring your knee straight. Turn your left toe in. Walk your feet about 3 feet apart. And now turn everything except the left foot with the hand still over the head. Turn all the way 90 degrees to the right. And then bend from the waist and place your fingertips on both sides of the feet so that the right hand's on the outside of the feet, the left hand is flat on the left side of the foot. Fingertips are lined up with the toe tips. Squeeze your thighs, lock your knees this time. The knees are straight, they're not bent. Breathe into your stomach and twist your hips to curl your head in so that your forehead touches the knee. All right, come up and turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, twist with the hips, go down and put your hands on both sides of the left foot, line up the fingertips, curl your forehead to push the knee straight, and breathe into your stomach. All right, come up, bend from the waist, turn your left foot to a 45-degree angle, turn your right foot to a 45-degree angle, roll your knees out, and lodge your hands with your elbows straight, thumb on the inside, fingers on the outside for the pyramid pose. Now both elbows are locked, and just roll your right elbow down and look over the left shoulder. Just feel the leverage there. There's no effort in this pose. You're just leveraging, stretching to the left. Hold this position, and now just exhale and make a little tug down with your left shoulder and up, down with your right shoulder and up with your left shoulder to twist the whole spine and neck around as far as you can. Just a little tug, exhale, go down and come up. Now just slowly bring your left shoulder down and your right shoulder back and look over your right shoulder. Arms are straight, lodged on the knees, and twist around as far as you can. And take a deep breath and exhale and twist around as far as you can. Make a little tug and then come up. That's the pyramid pose. And now we're going to end the standing postures with the standing half lotus position, or the tree pose. So bring your right heel up. If you can, first of all, touch your belly button with your heel. It's not important that you do that. And then put your heel up on the top of your thigh as much as you can. If you have to in the beginning, you can hold your foot, but eventually try to bring your hands in prayer position and chest spot stare on the floor about body length in front of you. Bring your knee back, push your pelvis forward, lift from the chest, and just hold in the standing half lotus position. All right, change. Bring your right foot down, bring up your left heel. See if you can touch your belly button with it, and then let it come down on your thigh. Push your knee back, pelvis forward, lift from the chest, hands in prayer position, spot stare on the floor, body length in front of you. Become aware of your foot. Make sure it's evenly spaced on the floor. Pressure on kidney 1 equally. Pressure on the heels, ball of the foot, side of the foot. Now if you've got your balance completely, just close your eyes for 10 seconds and see if you can hold that. All right, now just turn around on your back and relax. It's always an advantage to have your own yoga towel or mat, and same place you do yoga every day, same time's best. Of course, morning time is the best time when you have an empty stomach, but in the evening you may find it better for you, whatever time you like. In the morning time you have more energy, things are more quiet. In the evening time you may be tired from working all day, but you are more flexible in the evening. Some people are more evening people. Try to create a little atmosphere. Maybe if you like a little sattvic music, burn a little bit of incense have your yoga mat out in some solitary room or corner where you can practice your yoga set. Spending about an hour every day would be the ideal to work to. But if you can't do that, try to do at least 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but an hour a day on yoga is the ideal. That way you feel the effect. If you want to take Sundays off, you can do it. Relaxation in yoga means simple to say and easy to do. Forget the past, don't worry about the future. Okay, the standing postures are basically for heating the body, strengthening the legs. And now the floor postures are more yoga proper, where we're going to work the joints in the body, which in Oriental thinking they're called the gates of the chi, or the gates or the energy flows. And of course the main joint is the spinal column. The first pose is called the bellows pose. Okay, bring your right knee up and interlace your fingers 2 inches below the kneecap and pull your knee into the area just outside of the chest and push your tailbone into the floor and touch your left calf muscle should be touching the floor. Scoot your heel out a little bit if it's not. And always deep breathing into the stomach. Don't hold your breath at any time. Pull on the knee, push on the tailbone. Turn your chin to your chest, but keep your head flat on the floor. Relax your shoulders. All right, change. Stick your right foot up in the air and lower it down slowly, and bring up your left foot. Interlace your fingers 2 inches below the knee and pull the knee into the area just outside of the chest. Push down on the tailbone. Right, change. Put your left foot up in the air, lower down slowly. And now bring both legs up together, reach around just under the kneecaps about 2 inches and grip your elbows with both hands and pull on the knees. Make your feet parallel, push the tailbone down, try to push your whole spine flat into the floor. You can't do it, but try to do it. Turn your chin to your chest, but keep your head touching the floor. Chin to the chest, tailbone toward the floor, pull on the knees, breathe into the stomach. Hold that position like a statue. All right, put your feet up in the air and lower down slowly, palms up alongside the body, and relax. Relax in Savasana. Okay, whenever we come out of the relaxation pose, bring your hands over your head and then sit up, grip your toes and bump your forehead to your knees a couple of times. So hands over the head, breathe in, exhale, bump your head to the forehead, forehead to the knees a couple of times, and turn around on your stomach. And now we'll do the cobra pose. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, directly underneath the shoulders, and elbows touching the body. Squeeze your hips and slowly go up without much pressure on your hands to your belly button. Bring your head back, push your chest out, squeeze your hips, lift your hands off the floor where they're just barely touching, and try to raise the whole body from the belly button up off of the floor. Keep no wrinkles on the forehead. And hold this position, breathing normally, squeezing your hips. right, lower down slowly. Now climb up on your elbows, little fingers touching, chin on the floor, so that your elbows are completely underneath the body and invisible for somebody who's standing above you. You couldn't see them. Little fingers touching, arms straight, chin on the floor, and bring your right leg up to a 45-degree angle without swinging your body to the left. So the leg is coming straight out from the hip, and the hip bone is digging into the arm. And just hold it, point the toe, chin on the floor, normal breathing. All right, lower the right leg and bring up the left leg, 45-degree angle, point the toe, hip digging into the forearm. If in the beginning it's too painful in the forearms, you can put your arms outside, but eventually you want to have the arms straight, hips digging into the forearms, treating elbow pain. All right, lower your left leg. Take a deep breath, put your mouth on the floor, and both legs go up. Go up as high as you can, mouth on the floor, point the toes, knees together, feet together. And lower down slowly. And chin to the side, palms alongside the body, and relax in Savasana. That's a half locust pose. Now we do the full locust pose. Put your chin on the floor, bring your arms straight out from the body, and feet together, and sweep your arms back and sweep your legs back. Lift your legs off the floor. Use your low back muscles and thigh muscles to raise your body off the floor at least 2 inches. Chest back, arms back. Sweep your arms back, lift the legs from the floor, and try to hold yourself as still as possible. If you're shaking, if your body's shaking, your mind is shaking. So try to hold yourself still. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. All right, lower down. Reach back and grip your feet 2 inches below the toes. And use your leg strength to kick up into the bow pose. Ankles, knees, wrist are all shoulder width. Use your leg strength to kick up and raise up as high as you can off the floor, and roll forward a little bit and kick up a little bit higher. Keep breathing. Once you get your position, hold like a statue. Kick a little higher, go a little higher. And lower down and relax. Chin to the side, palms up alongside the body. The bow pose, backward bending series, consists of the cobra pose, half locust, full locust, and bow pose. Very good for the spinal disc because they're always bending forward. Okay, now put your hands underneath your shoulder and push up Japanese style seated position, hips seated on your heels. And do a half tortoise pose. So slowly stretch your arms out and up over your head as you're breathing in, and then keep your hips on your heels. Your hands are extended over your head, and exhale and go forward. And put your forehead on the floor. Turn your chin away from your knees. Put your hands flat. Your fingers are interlaced except you're pointing the index finger, and roll your fingers forward so the index finger touches the floor, and this makes the arms straight. You feel the pressure from your thighs on the abdominal muscles, breathing normally, forehead touching the floor, chin away from the knees, and hips on the heels together. And then just relax in the half tortoise pose. All right, as you come up from the half tortoise, try to keep your hips on your heels. Come up straight up, hips on the heels, stretch your arms up, and stretch your arms out to the side. And stand up on your knees. And split your knees about 10 inches and your feet about 8 inches. And give yourself support in the low back. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do this. Put your hands on your hips, drop your head back, go back as far as you can. And if you can, go down and grip your right heel with your right hand, and then your left heel with your left hand. Just let your head hang, push your chest up, split your shoulders apart as far as you can, and then push your low back forward until it hurts. Push a little bit more. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Don't come up yet. It may feel awkward right now, but when you get used to it, this will help open up your low back. Stay in this pose for a full 20 seconds. Keep breathing, pushing forward on the low back. All right, come up. That's the camel pose. And now the hare pose, rabbit pose. Sit down on your heels, put your knees together, reach back and grip your heels with your hands. Bend forward and put your forehead on your knees, and then roll forward like a wheel. Be sure to get your hips off of your heels. So roll forward, your arms are straight, they're pulling on the heels, the knees are together, the feet are together, and if the forehead's not touching the knees, then walk your knees up to touch the forehead. And if there's too much pressure on your top of your head, then lift your shoulders up. Lift the shoulders up to take the pressure off the head, but be sure that your hips are off of your heels. You're rolled completely forward, putting a nice pressure on the top of the head, putting blood to the head. Keep breathing. Keep your focus between the eyes. Keep normal breathing. All right. Come up and turn around on your back and relax. Okay, hands over the head, do a sit-up, and let's do a forward bend series. Bring your left heel into the top of your thigh. If you can, put your heel on the point rin 1. If for a woman, probably the point, the pubic bone, rin 2. Bring your hands in prayer position at the chest. Stretch your hands up and bend from the waist, always forward bend from the waist, and reach down, interlace your fingers, and wrap your fingers around the ball of the foot. You may have to bend your knee in order to do this. Once you get your grip, just kind of use the law of gravity to stretch out over your thigh and put your forehead on your knee and bring your elbows toward the floor. And scoot your heel out so that you feel some pain in the back of the leg. And just keep stretching and relaxing. Roll your body to the left a little bit. Pull the ball of the foot, the grip should be on the ball of the foot, not the heel or the middle of the foot, so that when you pull back, you feel the stretch in the hamstring. All right, now stretch your hands over your feet and come up with a straight back. Bring your left heel out and your right heel in, and bring your hands to your chest. Breathe in, stretch up, and exhale and bend out over your thigh and interlace your fingers and grip the ball of your left foot. Forehead to the knee. Pull on the ball of the feet with the interlaced hands. Scoot your heel out away from your body and bring your elbows toward the floor. And roll your body to the right just a little bit. If you can, the elbows can be touching the floor. And just breathe and relax and stretch and breathe and relax. Okay, come up with a straight back. Stretch your hands over your feet and then come up. And stick both feet out in front, roll back on your back, and then immediately do a sit-up. Reach down, bend from the waist, walk your hips behind you, and interlace your middle and index finger with the big toe. And put your forehead on your knees briefly, and then this time try to put your forehead to your thumbs. Point your thumbs back and your elbows toward the floor. Scoot your hips behind you and try to stretch your forehead down toward your feet. So your index and middle finger are lapped around the big toe, and the thumb is pointing toward the forehead, and the forehead is stretching toward the thumb. And just keep breathing and stretching. Exhale and stretch down as far as you possibly can. Try to touch your forehead all the way to the toes. Create some pain in the back of the legs. Push your heels out. Pull your toes back. Push your knees down. Try to touch the floor with your elbows. Exhale, go down more, go down more. And then stretch your hands over your feet and come up with a straight back. Now that you've got both feet out in front, bring your right leg over your left knee and bring your left foot by your right hip. Raise your left hand and reach down and grip the left knee with your left hand over the right knee and twist around as far as you can to the right. Keep your hips on the floor, shoulders parallel, chin up, chest up. Don't sink and cave your chest in or sink your shoulders. Keep your shoulders parallel and twist around as far as you can, keeping the spine straight. All we're doing is twisting the spine, using the whole body to do it. Twist around, exhale, twist as far as you can, and then release that again. Put both feet out in front and bring the left leg over the right knee and bring the right foot by the left hip. And raise your right hand and bring your right hand over the left knee and grip the right knee with the right hand. And you can put your left hand behind you, or you can put it on your thigh. But keep the spine straight, both hips on the floor, shoulders parallel, chin up, and twist around as far as you possibly can. The spinal twist. Hold this pose just a little bit longer. And then exhale your breath and twist around as far as you possibly can, and then release and turn around on your back and relax. Now, if you're in the first few months of your yoga practice, you could end your routine right here with a 2 to 10 minute relaxation. But continuing the routine, following the floor postures are the inverted postures. We practice the inverted postures beginning with the shoulder stand series. This includes 3 postures: the shoulder stand, the plow, and the fish. I suggest that you take a nice fluffy towel and fold it in half, and then fold that half into 1/3, and place your shoulder on top of that folded towel so that your head is touching the floor but your shoulders are laying on the towel, and that gives you about 1/8 to 1/4 inch support underneath the shoulders. And the big bone C7, the 7th cervical, protects that so that when you're doing the shoulder stand, then you won't have the tendency to hurt your neck. All right, the first thing you do is just rock back and touch your feet behind your head 5 times. As you're rocking back, if you find this to be a strain on the upper shoulders or neck, you can place a chair or a pillow behind you so that your feet don't go all the way down and touch the floor. And just rock back and try to keep your knees straight about 5 times. Now, after you've touched 5 times, then come up and point your feet to the sky and put your hands on your low back and try to walk your spine completely perpendicular to the floor, and gently walk your hands down your back and keep your elbows about shoulder width. Don't split your elbows too far, and as much as possible keep your spine perpendicular to the floor and your feet pointed to the sky. Kidney 1 in the center of the foot should be straight up and down. Your feet should not angle over your head, as this might bother your neck. Now, if you can't do this in the beginning, it's okay to angle the trunk of your body, but still the feet should be completely perpendicular to the floor. Now once you get your position, push your feet up, walk your hands down, shove your spine into your throat, and make the center of the thighs the tense area that you stretch up. Breathing normally, deep breathing, and hold the shoulder stand for at least 30 seconds. Shoulder stand series, shoulder stand in particular, is a pose that can be held 30 seconds, even up to 3 or 5 minutes. But again, it's advisable, if you're going to hold it longer, to keep a towel underneath C7. All right, now just slowly lower down into the plow pose. And if you can touch your feet to the floor without straining your neck and shoulders, that's good. But if you feel too much tension in the neck and shoulders in the beginning, it's better to place a pillow or even a chair to place your feet in the plow position. Don't let your body slump. Keep your body completely perpendicular to the floor. That means spine straight. Now interlace your fingers and stretch your hands out away from your body with your thumbs pointing up and the palms facing the body. And point your toes to your head and push your heels away from your head. And remember to keep the body, the trunk of the body, completely perpendicular to the floor, breathing normal. This is the plow pose, which also you can hold for another 30 seconds. And now the third pose in the series is the fish pose. So just turn your palms down flat on the floor and roll your body so that the hips land right on the back of the wrist. And use your elbows to tuck your head back so that Do-20 is on top of the head, is touching the floor, and your neck is stretched back and your throat is open, bringing blood to the thyroid gland. In the shoulder stand and plow pose, you push blood away from the thyroid gland. So in the fish pose, you bring blood to the thyroid gland, which has a very beneficial effect. Push your chest up, Ren 17. Push the chest up as much as you can. Keep your mouth closed, breathing normal. Feet together. Now, as you come out of the plow pose, don't just lift out with your neck muscles, but use your elbows to lift your neck up, let your head out, palms up alongside the body, and relax. After the shoulder stand series, we're ready to attempt the headstand. Now, if you've not practiced the headstand before, first of all, just get your base, reach around and grip your elbows, and then interlace your fingers and place your head on the floor. Some teachers teach that the balancing point is right at the hairline. Other teachers teach at the point Do-20 at the top of the head. So find an area within the hairline to the top of the head that feels comfortable to you. And it should mark out a circle around the size of a silver dollar. Interlace your fingers and place your head on the floor, and then walk your feet up so that your legs are straight and your body is completely perpendicular to the floor. And in the beginning, just stick one foot up in the air, and then bring that foot down, and stick the other foot up in the air. You can also practice against a wall. Just get about 6 inches away from a corner, and you can practice kicking up. But eventually you want to be able to do the headstand in the middle of the floor. So after you have practiced this for some time and you're used to being upside down, then you can go through the 3 steps of moving up into the headstand. First of all, bring your knees into your chest and your feet are off the floor now and you're balancing. This could be a next step. Now swing your knees over your head with your feet hanging down behind your back. This is step 2, and just as you're slowly going up, because you don't want to invert too quickly because of the transfer of the blood from the feet to the head. And now the third part, point your feet up in the air, kidney 1. Now the alignment here is that you want to relax your shoulders as much as you can, maybe lift them up a little bit. Don't hold any shoulder tension. The back of the head, the sacrum, and the heels should all be in alignment. Keep your focus, and there's a nice circle right around the size of a silver dollar that you're balancing on. No pressure on the elbows. The elbows and the hands are only used as a balance. One thing about learning the headstand is to learn how to fall in the headstand. So if you're starting to lose your balance, just put the pressure on your elbows, tuck your chin to your chest, relax, and then you can just gently roll. So if you learn to do that, then you can go into the headstand and not be afraid of falling, and of course then you won't fall again. You'll learn how to do the headstand. So once again, to the steps to go into the headstand. First, walk your legs up so that the body's perpendicular and the legs are straight. Then bring your knees into your chest. Then swing your knees with the feet down over your head, and then stick the feet up in the air. Now as you're coming down, bring your feet down behind your back, knees sticking up. Now bring your knees into your chest, and now bring your feet down to the floor. And then kneel down into a folded leaf position and split your hands into the mouth of the tiger so that your thumbs and index fingers are touching, and you can put your forehead into that triangle that's made, and you can make the humming sound. We'll just do 3 of those just to relax after doing the headstand. Okay, now come up very slowly because you have a lot of blood in your head. Just keep your head low to the ground. And now we're going to finish with the relaxation pose. Our relaxation pose is going to begin by doing the lion pose. So tense up your legs, tense up your buttocks, tense up the trunk of the body, your arms, squeeze your face, stick your tongue out, try to touch your tongue to your chin, stare at the tip of your nose with your eyes, make a ah sound like that, and just hold that, and then relax. And now pick up your feet, drop your feet. Pick up your hips, drop your hips. Pick up your chest, drop your chest. Pick up your arms, drop your arms. Roll your head side to side. Turn your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath and exhale through the mouth. Relax your face, relax your mind. Just let yourself go. Forget who you are, forget the past. Don't worry about the future. And just lay here in the relaxation pose for at least 2 minutes, up to 10 minutes. All right, now after sufficient time has passed in the relaxation pose, let's practice the lotus posture. And the lotus posture, of course, is just the most comfortable way to arrange your body so that we can practice some concentration techniques which will help prepare us for meditation. First of all is the fixed firm pose. So just sit with your hips between your heels and put your knees together and the heels are alongside the hips. If you have knee problems in the beginning, you may have to practice this and very carefully, and as you do the other postures and your knees open up, then this posture will become less difficult. For some people this pose is a killer. For other people it's no problem at all. But this pose does open up your knees to help you so that you can sit in the lotus posture for a long time. Alright, now the hips between the heels, go down on your elbows, right elbow, left elbow. If you can make it this far, lay back flat on your back. And then interlace your fingers, point the index finger, stretch your hands out away from your head. Interlace your thumbs. Everything's interlaced except the index fingers are pointing away from the head. Roll your hands so that your index finger touch the floor and turn your chin to your chest, and don't let your knees split. And then just try to relax and breathe in this pose. Don't struggle too much, just let yourself go and relax and breathe. Okay, now as you're going to come up, just release your hands and use your elbows to push your body up and come up and turn around and sit on the floor. And reach down and grip your right foot with both hands at the ball of the foot and just circle it around 10 times. Alright, now release that and reach down and grip the left foot and circle that 10 times. Alright, now put your feet together. Scoot your heels in as close as you can to the groin and reach down with both hands and push your knees toward the floor. If your knees are not coming toward the floor, that's okay. Just apply a slight pressure and try to stretch your knees out as much as possible. Alright, now grip the feet over the toes with both hands, interlace the fingers, and stretch your spine out as far as possible, and stretch down if you can, and touch your forehead to the floor and push your knees out as you're going down, and put your forehead on the floor and just stay there for about 10 seconds. Alright, now reach down, touch your chin to the floor, and then come up. There's basically about 5 lotus postures. And again, the ideal is just to arrange your body in a comfortable way so you can practice concentration and meditation techniques. The first pose is called the easy pose. Just simply cross your legs so that the right leg is underneath the left leg. And your hands, either you can touch your thumb to your index finger and set your wrist on your knees, or you can cup your hands and set them in your lap, one over the other, or you can just interlace your fingers. But the main thing is that the back is straight. So the point, conception vessel 1 in the perineum and governing vessel 20 at the top of the head should be in alignment. In conception vessel 17 in the center of the chest, you should lift up from that area, tuck your chin in a little bit, relax your shoulders, but don't hold any tension in your neck. That should be your alignment. The chin is parallel to the floor, tucked in, the spine is elongated in a straight line, and the spine is straight. And then you can sit in the easy posture. These are just demonstrating just to pick a posture that feels comfortable to you. The next posture is called the perfect posture. So in this pose, the left leg is over the right and the toes are tucked into the crevices behind the knees. Some people, their knees are not going to come all the way to the floor. They're going to stick up in the air. Again, the important thing here is that the spine is straight. The hands can be in any position that feels comfortable to you. Forget your breathing. Don't think about your breathing. And the attention of the mind should be focused in the forehead at the eye center. All right, the third pose is called the pose of the Siddha. That posture is bring your left heel in and touch Ren 1 in the center of the perineum. For women, it may be that their heel is going to touch Ren 2 in the center of the pubic bone. Then the next position, bring your right heel over the top of your left heel so that the heels are in a line and the right heel is touching in the center of the pubic bone at Ren 2. Lift from the chest, back straight, chin tucked in but relaxed and parallel to the floor. All right, the next posture is called half lotus. So just take your right leg and set it over the left leg. Tuck your left foot underneath the right leg, back straight, lift from Ren 17 in the center of the chest. This is the half lotus position. And from here, we just push the right leg down and bring up your left leg, and you're sitting in a full lotus. For some people, initially, this is going to kill their knees. You can just sit like this for 20 seconds and try to extend your time. But if you go through the pain and effort of learning this pose, your body is in such a comfortable position you can sit in this position for an hour or more, and it automatically keeps your spine straight. But you don't have to learn that position, but it's certainly an advantage if you can to sit in the full lotus position automatically with the back straight. All right, now to practice the concentration techniques, just sit in any position that feels comfortable to you. And again, these are concentration techniques to help prepare for meditation. But meditation techniques have to be learned from a living teacher, not from a tape. These techniques help to still the mind and to make the thoughts pure and the body strong. The first thing to do is just to do some simple chanting. And one chanting technique is just to chant the vowels A, E, I, O, and U. So take a deep breath and we'll begin. You can chant these vowels as many times as you wish, 3 times each vowel or once several times. After you've repeated or after you've completed the chanting, just sit still and try to open the space between 2 thoughts. Calmly look and see if your mind becomes still in the space between 2 thoughts. And if it doesn't, then you can repeat the sacred mantra, relax, 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 over and over again. Just spend some time doing this concentration practice. After you've spent the appropriate amount of time doing that concentration technique, then just come up into a polarity squat. Make sure and always in the polarity squat that your heels are touching the floor. And bring your elbows inside the knees and place your palms together and touch your thumbs to your eye center. And the index finger touches the forehead. And then we're just going to do a ha breath, 5 times 5. So with the thumbs touching the eye center, index finger touching the forehead, elbows between the knees, take a deep breath. Ha 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 ha. 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 Okay. Interlace your fingers. Put it behind the neck. Stretch your neck out a little bit without pulling. Drop your hands down on the floor. Stick your buttocks in the air and come up slowly. And that's the end of the Kiss the Sky yoga routine.